Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So, along with the Dokkan Fest Future Gohan, we got the revamp for the Trunks story event. We got 2 new free-to-play units, and then, well, kind of 3-ish. And then, you know, the 4th free-to-play unit from that event got an EZA. So, a lot of good things have been happening with these free-to-play units, right? Now, the Future Android 17 and Future Android 18, I do think both of them are actually pretty useful. Because both of them stack attack and defense, which, I mean, you guys know how much I've been loving that mechanic lately, right? So, let's go ahead and Rainbow Android 18 right here. Then let's go ahead and awaken her, Future Android 18, of course, with the Android 18 medals. Now, I believe it's these medals that have given people infamous trouble in getting these medals before. But with the event revamp, it now should be very, very simple to farm them up. Just by having future category characters on the team, you know, it's way easier to get those medals. So I'm going to go ahead and level Android 18 up, and then we'll hop into some events. Alright guys, so now we're in an event. We are here on the Android/Cell Saga team. Now, Android 18, a lot of her is built around having Android 17 Future in the same turn as her. So I intentionally, on this run, I want to see how she's going to look without bringing a Future Android 17. And then, obviously, after this, we'll go jump onto the Android category team, which is going to be way better. Now, we looked at Android 17, right? And he had a low attack stat. I mean, Android 18's is even lower. She is under the fabled mark of 10K. There's not a lot of units that are under 10,000 attack when they're rainbowed, so 18 certainly is not going to be hitting very hard at all. I think she's going to be hitting pretty lightly. Oh, I should have checked her defense. I mean, it's definitely displayed on screen, but I want to, like, look under 500k. I mean, here's the thing. Both Future Android 17 and Future Android 18 on a rotation together, like, you know, going into the Legendary Goku event, for example, they're going to work really well. Like, they're going to be completely fine. The only issue, of course, would be, you know, the fact that Android 17 is tech. You know, encountering super attacks towards the end of that fight could be difficult. And then I guess, you know, Android 18 is STR. So, you know, she's going to have type disadvantage in several different phases, which certainly will be a disadvantage for her. But, I don't know. They're okay. Okay, so I did bring Android 16 here. Let me go ahead and get him in that last slot. And we will see how good... Maybe, am I going to keep... I don't know if I'm going to keep that Gohan on rotation, actually, in the other turn. I mean, I could try it. I mean, how often do we get Android 16 and Gohan on the same rotation, right? So maybe I can give it a look. And then, you know, we've also got the LR Androids over there along with that Android 18. LR Androids, of course, like, if you're going to be using Android characters, then that LR Androids card is just something you're going to want to put on the team, right? They're just that powerful. But this team, I mean, quite honestly, this team needs several support type units still. Orb changers, something like EZA Goten, or like, you know, a 40% 2-key unit. Like, the Android/Cell Saga team just so badly needs it, right? I think I'm actually going to do this. Yeah, we'll keep the LR Androids there linked up. You know, we'll go ahead and let them get a super attack, and then we got Gohan here at the end. Gohan will go ahead and finish off Jiren if we make it that far. Okay, so what's Jiren doing? Okay, double digits here. So 18, you know, her defense is high enough to take double digits from Jiren. Up to 600k attack. Honestly, not that impressive considering we have the LR Androids on rotation as well. You know, they're giving 40% attack, so, you know, not the greatest there. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You're just probably not going to use, like, Future Android 17 and 18. You're not really going to use them unless you're going to use them both at the same time. Like they basically have to be used together because just the 70% attack and defense at the start of turn and then stacking attack and defense, like, it's not enough for, like, a Dokkan event or something like that. Now, in, like, a Prime Battle event, sure. These Future Androids, they're going to be sensational, I think, in Prime Battle events. So that's going to be cool to see. I figure we'll give Android 18 one more turn, and then we'll move on to the Android category team, right, where we can really see Android 18 properly in action over on that Android category team, you know, with Future Android 17 around, having them on the same rotation. As of the time I'm recording this, the Extreme Z Area event has not been released, so we don't know, like, what the restrictions are for units that you can bring to that event. I'm assuming that Future 17, Future 18, and the Future Gohan, all those free-to-play units, are going to be required for it, as well as the actual EZA Trunks himself. I bet they're all going to be like required units. If that is the case, they're all so damn strong that this event should be, you know, child's play, really. And I couldn't even think of what... I imagine it's going to be based around future category units. I couldn't even imagine what low-level, like, future, like, Saga summonable units they'll have on there. You know, remember, similar to what they did with, like, Super Vegeta, right? That AGL Super Vegeta was, you know, a unit that you could use, or, like, that SCR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. It's going to be interesting to see if they're, like, what powerhouses are available there. So... yeah, one issue with a lot of Android 17 and 18 cards always is that they just don't have a lot of attack links. It's just their downfall, really. But, all right, so we'll get this attack with Android 18, and then we're going to go ahead and move forward to the Android category team where, you know, I think we should be able to get her above a 1 million attack stat, but, you know, with her lower attack than Android 17, she might need an additional or two here. It's going to take her a little bit longer to get above a 1 million than it would for future Android 17, right? So, all right, let's head to the Android category team now. All right, so now we're over here on the Android category team. Got pretty unlucky where the future Androids started out on rotation. I mean, it usually is like that, right? So, I'm just going to play it out a little bit. We are on the Super Buu event, so we do have some time. I kind of want to let... I want to let 18 get above a 1 million attack stat right here. That's why I went to the Buu event. You know, just give her a couple of super attacks. You know, we'll have, like, you know, the LR Androids on a rotation with them. You know, we'll be able to get, you know, future Android 17 on a rotation with them. You know, we'll probably be able to see 18 get above a million. Because, you know, 17 was able to get above a million, so 18 should be able to, too. Now... the units are pretty much exactly the same, right? Where, you know, they get an additional against Hybrid Saiyans. They get the extra 70% attack and defense if they're in the same turn with each other. The one difference is that 17 gets a medium chance to crit when 18 is in his rotation, and then 18 gets a medium chance to dodge when 17 is in her rotation, right? So, which one is probably better? I don't know. Like, I know in the Legendary Goku event, 18's is going to be completely worthless, so that is going to be unfortunate. The one really good thing about this event, too, is, like, I could actually just super attack left and right, and, like, Buu is just going to heal up all this damage anyway, right? That's always the fantastic part. Like, we don't have to, like, you know, doing showcases on a lot of these turns now, and it's like, bro, it's just... like, let me, like, try my best to make sure we miss a super attack right here. We can't get a super attack right here. Oh, no, look at this freaking rotation right here. We're in trouble. Like, at least in this Buu event, that's not something that you really have to worry about, right? Okay, so we're going to have the LR Androids on rotation now with Android 18. So she, of course, is going to get a pretty big-time buff from them. We also do have Android 21 here, too, so... this could be pretty good. I don't think she's going to break a million right here, but I think next turn when 17 gets on rotation, she will be able to break a million. So let's see. What does she get up to right here? Oh, yeah, 760,000. Not even close. I did give her full additionals like I did with future Android 17. So, you know, if she wanted to get us some additional super attacks, that would be great, which, you know, she's not really playing ball with us right now. You know, build up that attack, build up that defense. That's going to be the big, you know, point of them. I probably will go into a video after this. I'll use future Android 18 and future Android 17 on the Legendary Goku event. Probably have them as a rotation. I don't know what team I'll do it on, though. Probably the future team, I guess. Interesting. Android 18, you know, she does, of course, have that one extra category that 17 doesn't have, but it's Peppy Gals, right? And the way this future Android 18 is built, it's not like that's going to be a huge deal for Android 18. Like, she's not going to be great on Peppy Gals. I guess the one thing, though, is that for, like, free-to-play Peppy Gals, she could be pretty useful depending upon what type of event you're trying to do, right? Because she's actually going to be able to have the attack and defense stacking still. So that will be good. I just, you know, you guys know how I am. Like, when I see that defense stacking on any unit, my eyes light up. That's just what happens there. All right, so Boo is super attacking frequently enough that we could potentially see Android 16 here. I could bring Android 16 out, I think, but I mean, this team is just so tanky. The Android team is so good. Like, that's another thing. Like, I see people like just like, oh yeah, the LR Androids suck because I never use the Android team and I'm never gonna use the Android team. And it's like, I mean, I understand if you don't have the leaders, but like, the team is pretty good. It's pretty freaking busted. So like, I don't really see the resentment or hesitation to using this Android team. I am not going to transform into Android 16 right here, actually, because I, of course, want to see Android 18's attack stats. We were able to get above 1 million. Okay, very good, very good. That was just kind of like the thing. Like, can we get Android 18 above 1 million? Indeed, we were able to. So, all right, I guess we can go ahead and move into her details now. And 17 also at 1 million. So they are a pretty good combo. Like a pretty good free-to-play combo right there. Future Android 18, Future Android 17. The two of them definitely will be able to put in work together, depending upon what type of event you're on, what type of team you're building, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I think for free-to-play units, Akatsuki and Bandai did another good job with this batch of free-to-play units. Like, just so many of them nowadays are just, like, so helpful in their own way, right? Whereas back in the day, free-to-play units were basically just bad. Like, they just weren't good. So, all right. Let's go ahead and take a look at our girl, Future Android 18. All right, so this is Destruction Bringing Android, Android 18 Future. Her leader skill is the Sibling Bond category, Key 3 and 50% of stats, so obviously that's not the greatest there. Her super attack is the Power Blitz, which stacks attack and defense and does supreme damage to the enemy, so pretty decent there. Her passive skill, I Hate Humans, is 70% attack and defense at the start of turn. Then she gets an additional 70% attack and defense and a medium chance of dodging enemy attacks when your team has Android 17 Future in the same rotation. So, you know, I talked about it at length in the Android 17 video, how I just absolutely hate that restriction of having to be in the same turn. I mean, the two Future Androids do work incredibly well together, linked up, but still, it's just like, it just feels the worst. Like, if only it was just the same team, then even if, like, they're split up for whatever reason, you know, like, we hopped into that Boo event, and 17 was in slot 7, and 18 was in slot 6. So, like, it's pretty difficult to get them on the same rotation in the confines of a Dokkan event in that situation, right? Like, half of the fight, they're going to be, like, you know, suboptimal. It's like, can we, you know, I just don't like that same turn stuff, you know. And then the last part of her passive is she launches a guaranteed additional super attack if there is a hybrid Saiyan category enemy. Of course, makes sense from her battles with Future Gohan, right? Her links are Organic Upgrade, Android Assault, Twin Terrors, Brutal Beatdown, Battlefield Diva, Dismal Future, and Shattering the Limit. The number one thing that needs to be changed, like, Android Assault plus 1,000 defense has got to be changed. Like, 10% attack and defense, I think, is sufficient. Organic Upgrade and Twin Terrors, like, just both being 2 key links is dumb. One of them needs to go to, like, 10% attack or 15% attack, something like that. The rest of it I'm fine with, but I just hate the links on some of these 17 and 18 cards. It just makes them, like, impossible to be very, very good, right? And MVP 17 isn't really like that, right? They actually did give him different links. 18's 12 key multiplier is 140%, so that's interesting. She has a higher 12 key multiplier than Android 17, but then again, she has less attack, but that probably about evens it out, right? So, interesting. And then lastly, our girl Android 18 is on a number of different category teams, right? So for starters, she is on the Peppy Gals team. Definitely going to be a pretty solid team with all the LR, you know, Kale and Khalifa units on there, right? Then she's also over here on the Future category team, where, you know, I guess she's going to work pretty good on there. Also the Android team, which is absolutely her best team by far. That team is actually very underrated. People are way too hard on that team. It's good. She's also here on the Sibling Bond team, you know, the LR Gohan and Goten team. And then finally, she is on the Android/Cell Saga team, which I hope continues to get more and more buffs, because honestly, that team just still feels like it's missing a lot to me. I can't quite put my finger on it. So there we go. There is Future Android 18. Very good. I'm sure she's going to be very, very necessary for the Extreme Z Area event, which comes out later tonight. We'll see how that's going to go. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.